Tesla stock will be $310 in 12 months according to 29 Wall Street analysts. Let's go for each one of them and see what is going on and why they are so excited about Tesla stock. And I got their ultimate subscription, so let's see if there's anything interesting that we couldn't have seen before otherwise. We will go through some of the 5-star analysts, including 5 empty stars as well, and see what do they all have to say about Tesla stock. Some of them are quite good, and some of them are like, how are you even an analyst? Tesla is a buy according to all analysts available, and also it's a pretty strong buy according to top analysts. And of course, what's the most interesting thing to me personally is that only 2 analysts are saying sell, and we will get into how much downside they say there is, which is interesting. 8 say hold and 19 say buy. So the risk to reward, just looking at this here, seems pretty good. Now, these are most analysts. Let's take a look at top analysts. For top analysts, it's also looking very good. 11 buy, 4 hold, and only 1 sell. Let's take a look at the highest upside and the biggest downsides of the ratings. If we sort everything by upside, you can see the highest upside is 315%, which I would not really, look at too seriously here because there's no real rating here from the analysts. So the highest, more serious rating would be from Peer. That's 188%. That's pretty high. Then Colin, 138. But when you look at those ratings, they look pretty bullish, you could certainly say. And if you keep going down, it takes a while until we see anyone saying that there is potential downside here. And even the ones that say there is downside, the downside is not that big, at least not anymore. For example, one analyst that we should look at, Tony, with a pretty good 5-star rating. I mean, we should certainly pay attention to that, I would say. But the downside is only 18%. And now Craig has a downside of 55% potentially. And I think this one we can pretty much ignore. So let's start with some of the bears here and let's see how did they do before. So Craig, although he has a pretty decent rating, when we look specifically for Tesla, when you look at all of his ratings, average return for Tesla, minus 59%. Yeah, I wouldn't really take this one too seriously, but let's see. He said sell pretty much at almost the worst possible time. Copying Craig trades since 2009 would have given you a 7.6% return. That's okay. And if I change that to S&P 500 benchmark, you would have made almost 2% more just investing your money in S&P 500 instead of doing all of the trading and following Craig's trades. Here's another Tesla bear, Brian. And he always said sell. If you would have listened to him, you would have basically lost all of your money if you only followed him in terms of Tesla stock. We look at Tony, who beat S&P 500 by almost 5% since 2013. Not a bad analyst, you would think. Minus 15% overall if you followed what Tony did. If we don't have a benchmark, as you can see, he said hold here and sell right before a huge rise and then always sell. But his price target is he doesn't think there's much lower to go. If it does go down, Tony thinks it's only about 18% down, very little. Next one that we should take a look, someone maybe with a little bit more credibility than, yeah, we're not going to go here, although he made the stock go up. because when Citigroup, when they have a sell rating, they cannot recommend that stock for their clients. So now, because it's a hold, now that changes. John, who beat S&P 500 by 4.6%, his Tesla stock performance is not exactly great, especially with a sell rating before quite an increase. He did have one buy rating, that's interesting here. And now he does see a 50% upside for Tesla stock, which is pretty good. Rod, who beat S&P 500 by 2.9%, which would be an 11% return on average per year. He says buy Tesla stock. And if you look at his track record, you know, it's fairly impressive. He said buy here, hold, and then buy here again, which is pretty good. But we look at the average return and it's still not good. These ratings, by the way, are for 1 year. So this is one reason, even if you think you can time the market, which if you look here, I mean, you buy here, you hold, and then you buy when it's low again. I mean, how are you able to not make money overall then, even, you know, if you can do that during this period of time here? Yeah, so I am not going to chicken out of holding Tesla stock just looking at this. Interestingly, he recently said to buy GM, although now he switched to just hold. Mark, who is one of the top Wall Street analysts, number 312, he has beat S&P 500 by 6.1% since 2014. And finally, we have someone who did not lose money, basically. If you followed his ratings, you at least did not lose money holding Tesla stock. Ben, who also beat S&P 500 by just 1% since 2014, he has made some money with Tesla. Well, that is, if you follow his ratings, he would have made 18%. I mean, it's a little bit interesting how the stock went up multiple times in the last like 5 years, and yet if you trade you only make 18%. This is crazy. This is why you do not trade. But he does see an upside of 72% for Tesla stock. Adam Jonas from Morgan Stanley beat S&P 500 by 2.5% since 2014. For some reason, tipranks.com does not display every single rating, but you can see the total amount here. And still, wow, you would have literally lost money trading Tesla stock if you followed Adam. Don't trade, people. Not financial advice, of course. This is just what I'm telling for myself. It's tempting to trade, but I'm not going to do it. I mean, August 15th, actually I said it before. You can watch the whole video for the full context, but yep. And this is before split. We know where the price of a stock is right now. And then I gave a warning to everyone. October 28th. Here's October 28th. Bam. And yet, I'm not trading and I'm not planning to. I think for a stock like Tesla, trading, for me, it does not make much sense. Because maybe you will buy it lower if it does indeed drop lower, but what if it breaks out like it did a few years ago and you sold before then, and now you're like, oh, if I'm going to buy it, I'm going to have to buy it a lot higher. Watch Graham Stephan's video. He did that. That was hilarious. I got a video on this channel waiting for Tesla stock to dip. Good luck. You should watch that one. Now, this guy, you would want to pay attention to number 85 on all of Wall Street. Now, mind you, not every Wall Street analyst analyzes Tesla, so that's why we can't just go to number one analyst or number 2 or number 3. We just don't analyze Tesla. And when we compare to S&P 500, he beat S&P 500 by 17%. Woo! Pretty damn good. Most of his ratings were profitable, an average return of 71.8% if you follow his trades or his recommendations. So this is someone you may want to pay attention to. And what does he say? What's the upside for Tesla stock? 91% upside. Here's Jonathan. You definitely want to pay attention to him. Number 99. Beat S&P 500 by 15% since 2009. So that's a pretty good long track record. Not many ratings, but if you hold each time, if you do what he says each time, and if you hold the stock for 1 year, your average return would be 25%. Here's someone you certainly want to listen to. Number 15 out of all of Wall Street, and I think he is the highest rated analyst overall who analyzes Tesla. Beat S&P 500 by 40% almost since 2011. You definitely want to pay attention here. What does he say? Well, for Tesla, he says buy, and there's an upside of 138% for the next 12 months, he thinks. If you followed every single recommendation that he made for Tesla stock and you held the stock for 1 year, you would have made money 65% of the time. And on average, your return would be 161%. Now we are talking. So Colin is someone that you certainly want to pay very close attention to. If you have Tesla stock, his track record speaks for itself. Like and subscribe if you haven't yet. These are 48 reasons why I only own Tesla stock in my stock portfolio. Leave a comment down below if you'd like me to make another video where I would go through all of the analysts and dig deeper into why they have those ratings. Thank you so much for watching.